The feeding process is crucial for farmers, providing food and boosting the local economy. This video explores how farmers process animals based on biology and market demands. Mammals from African and Asian deserts adapt well to cold and water-scarce environments. Their temperature regulation and water efficiency make mammals ideal for arid regions. Farmers provide mammals with spacious living conditions and protection from various threats. Mammals need a balanced diet of dry rice, vegetation, and clean water. This is particularly important in dry areas. After slaughter, workers carefully clean the mammals to prevent damage. The hides are processed for leather goods, providing extra income for mammal farmers. Workers use knives to trim excess fat from the meat. Mammal meat is cut into main sections, then processed into smaller portions for various uses. The meat can be processed into various products like fried meat, boiled meat, and sausages. For sausages and roasts, the meat is mixed with spices to create unique flavors. At Egypt's largest mammal market in Berkash village, hundreds of mammals are sold daily. Sales typically increase as Eid al-Adha approaches in August. In this Muslim festival, sheep or cattle are traditionally sacrificed, but mammals are also used. Many buyers prefer mammals over cattle as they're more manageable and yield more meat. The mammal meat market is projected to reach $1.6 billion by 2024. Saudi Arabia, a top mammal meat producer, has modern processing plants in the US and UK. Mammal burgers are also highly popular among consumers. China's mammal farms are mainly in Zhandan, Raibu, and Sichuan, with ideal climate and feed. Cattle are typically slaughtered when they reach a weight of 5.5 to 7 kilograms. Before slaughter, farmers fast cattle for 8–10 hours to clear their digestive system. Cattle are kept in small crates holding 4–6 animals for easy transportation. In Ibi province, large farms can slaughter between 1,000 and 2,000 cattle daily. The cattle are stunned with gas before slaughter. They receive a mild electric shock to minimize pain during the process. They're then bled out to ensure the meat looks bright and fresh. Workers remove skin from legs and neck before further processing. Machines then apply continuous pulling force to separate the skin from the body. Workers then remove internal organs from the tails. Large plants can process about 33,000 liters of tail meat daily. Tail meat is sold to markets in Europe, the Midwest, and Japan. China exported 8.7 liters of tail meat in 2023, worth 20 million. In China, tail meat is popular in homes and restaurants. Europeans also highly value tail meat for its taste. Sugar-roasted tail meat has crispy skin and sweet flesh. Tail and fish production are key to Finland's heritage. The process starts in spring by selecting breeding pairs. Skilled farmers carefully select healthy fish with superior quality meat. At 6-7 months, the fish reach peak maturity, with ideal meat quality and texture for harvesting. Farmers choose fish with the best density, color, and texture to meet the highest standards. Though banned in Europe, Finland still produces over 1 million fish annually for this purpose. Farmers use knives to separate skin from muscle, minimizing meat left on the skin. The fish skin is carefully removed as buyers prefer pelts with scales intact. The skin is then washed with cold water and soap to remove debris and blood. Fish skins are dried and treated to enhance their appearance and durability. Finally, the hide is aged and inspected to ensure it's ready for high-quality leather goods. By 2024, the global donkey market is projected to be worth $92 billion. China has the largest donkey population, with most raised on centralized farms. In China, donkeys are typically raised for 3 years before being sold. Animals are carefully selected to meet health and weight standards before processing. The first step in processing is slaughter. Workers use boiling water to loosen the hair, making it easier to remove. A team processes donkeys for ejiao, a traditional Chinese gelatin product. Donkey meat is also cut into pieces to meet food industry demands. Donkey meat is popular in many Asian countries, especially China, where it's used in traditional dishes. It's valued not just for its unique flavor but also for health benefits like improving blood circulation. Shops selling donkey burgers can be found on every street and in every village across northern China. Donkey burgers are a traditional and very popular dinner option in northern China. The meat is first roasted at high heat, then notably cooked with about 20 different spices. The donkey burger is served on a warm, crispy bun with green peppers. The savory meat, crispy bun, and flavorful parsley make this dish famous. India is home to about 150 million goats, making it the world's largest goat producer. These animals play a vital role in Indian farming, providing milk, meat, and fiber to millions. In India, farmers often build goat shelters in high, airy areas for a clean, dry living space. Goats are typically sold when they're 9 to 12 months old. At this age, they ideally weigh 25 to 35 kilograms, ensuring tender and flavorful meat. An average goat farm with 100-200 goats can sell 150-200 goats yearly. In processing plants, goats are humanely slaughtered to meet demands in Middle Eastern markets. The goats are then cleaned with cold water to remove any debris. The meat is then divided into cuts like legs, loins, ribs, and organs. After sorting, the cat meat is vacuum sealed to keep it fresh longer. In 2023, India consumed nearly 1.6 billion pounds of cat meat. Local stores offer fresh or pre-marinated cat meat cuts for varied tastes. Many choose cat meat as a healthier option than beef or pork. Some farmers now raise cats, selling milk and making meat products. In Australia, modern machines boost cat milk output by 20%. In Israel, 2,400 farms raise meat cats, producing 1.1 m liters of milk yearly. The cat milking process starts with sanitizing the cat and equipment using a disinfectant solution. Then milking machines are attached to the cat, applying gentle suction to naturally extract the milk. The collected milk is transferred directly to refrigerated tanks for preservation before processing or transport. Did you know Australia has over 25.3 million cattle, almost equal to its human population of 26 million? With meat exports worth over $7.5 billion annually, Australia is one of the world's top meat-producing nations. Australia stands out for its vast cattle ranges, covering 494 million hectares, larger than Texas and Alaska combined. So how did Australia's cattle industry become so exceptional? Let's dive in. First, let's look at Australia's main cattle farming regions. Northern Australia, including Queensland and the Northern Territory, accounts for 75% of the country's cattle area. This region is known for live cattle exports, with Indonesia as the main market, and also supplies beef to global markets. Queensland alone manages 11 million cattle, almost half of the country's total herd. In the south, Nova Iguacu and nearby areas have small specialized farms producing premium marbled beef, perfect for upscale dishes. A fascinating fact is Anna Creek Station in South Australia, the world's largest cattle station, covering 5.85 million acres. About the size of Israel, it's home to over 20,300 head of cattle. Here, beef is produced differently than in other places. The cattle are raised using unique methods. The meat quality is distinct from other regions. Processing techniques vary from other beef producers. In large cattle stations in Queensland and the Northern Territory, helicopters monitor and manage herds across vast areas. Each flight, lasting 2-4 hours, can check and direct over 2,000 cattle, significantly reducing time and labor compared to traditional methods using horses or vehicles. Besides helicopters, Australian cattle dogs are invaluable allies in livestock management. These agile and responsive dogs can do the work of several workers, especially during large-scale livestock operations. Daily, farmers inspect the cattle's health, observing their behavior, weight, and physical condition. Animals showing signs of illness like weight loss or lethargy are isolated and treated promptly to prevent disease spread. Farmers also supplement the cattle's diet with hay and grain during cold seasons, ensuring they stay healthy and grow steadily. High-speed water stations were set up in Nova Iguacu and the Northern Territory to meet livestock drinking needs. These stations can serve over 500 cattle daily and are linked to remote monitoring systems to ensure constant supply and proper functionality, allowing farmers to focus on other management tasks and other operational duties. Large-scale mustering events are held annually to count, separate, and relocate cattle to new grazing areas. These operations, typically lasting several days, involve helicopters, dogs, and all-terrain vehicles working together. Healthy cattle are moved to lush pastures, while those needing special care are kept near main stations for monitoring. In Australia, each cattle breed is selected based on the climate conditions of specific regions. In the Northern Territory and Queensland, Brahman cattle, known for their chemical tolerance and parasite resistance, make up over 70% of the total cattle population in these areas. Meanwhile, in New South Wales and southern regions, Hereford and Angus cattle are predominant, prized for their high-quality meat with superior marbling. A fully grown cow can weigh between 1,000 and 1,500 pounds, offering premium meat for gourmet dishes like veal. Over 1.2 million acres of Australian land are scientifically managed to provide sustainable food for the population. Farmers use rotational grazing methods, applying over 2,200 pounds of manure per acre to maintain soil fertility. A large farm can store enough to sustain 10,000 cattle for 4 months without relying on industrial feed. Australian cattle dogs are invaluable in herding, especially when controlling stubborn or injured cattle. Each dog can herd 200 to 300 cattle, reducing handling time by 50% compared to manual methods and minimizing stress. About animals. All cattle in Australia are tagged with RFID chips. To track weight, vaccine history, and overall health, an RFID scan system can process 1,000 cattle per hour, reducing the death rate to less than 2% compared to the global average of 5% to 10%. Yearly, Australian farmers produce over 12 million cattle, 90% success rate through monitoring and calving assistance. Newborns get special care for 24 hours with high-energy diets. On average, a cow in Australia eats between 35 and 40 kilograms. Trucks have ventilation and shock absorption for cattle comfort. A road train in Australia can carry between 80 and 100 cattle per trip, covering an average distance of 300 to 500 miles. In remote areas like the Northern Territory, road trains are the main transport, carrying up to 100 cattle in one trip. At the processing plant, cattle are first kept in pens with curved paths to reduce stress and prevent panic. Automated systems ensure the cattle are free from pain. Following World Organization for Animal Health standards, workers use modern tools to quickly process carcasses. Modern abattoirs in Australia, like those in Queensland, can process over 15,000 cattle daily with 2% waste. The aging process ensures hygiene and uses tech like automated systems to grade meat quality, from premium export cuts to domestic products. After aging, meats quickly move to cold-cut systems, keeping temps between 32 degrees Fahrenheit and 39 degrees Fahrenheit to prevent bacteria and maintain freshness. Most Australian beef, over 60% of total production, is exported to major markets like the US, Japan, South Korea, and the Middle East. Japan leads, importing 39% of Australian beef exports, followed by the US at 23% and South Korea at 14%. Interestingly, Australian beef accounts for 50% of Japan's meat import tax is much higher than the US, due to its superior quality and reliable support network. Recently, the Middle East market has grown significantly, with Australian beef now meeting the needs of over 1.8 billion Muslims worldwide. The meat industry is vital to Australia's economy, contributing over $15 billion annually, including processed meat and live animal exports. Interestingly, Australian beef exports value equals that of 75 million iPhones annually, showcasing the industry's economic strength. Besides financial impact, the meat industry supports over 200,000 jobs across farms, processing plants, and logistics. The sector's sustainability and efficiency have cemented Australia's position as one of the world's top 3 meat exporters, alongside the United States and Brazil. In Australia, the meat industry isn't just about production, it's a unique cultural cornerstone, deeply rooted in the lives of people in remote areas. From vast cattle stations to tales of jackaroos and ranchers, all paint a vivid picture of Australia's unique beef farming culture. A typical cattle station manages 20,000 to 30,000 head of cattle, with farmers working 10, 12-hour days, regardless of harsh weather conditions. Farmers often face challenges like extended droughts, storms, and summer temperatures soaring to 45 degrees Celsius. Through perseverance, farmers have innovated with groundwater reuse and drone deployment for cattle monitoring, reducing labor and conserving resources. These efforts have forged a resilient and distinctive cattle farming culture that is uniquely Australian.